Alright guys, so this is how the Landcruiser looked last time you guys saw it. I've been pretty busy in the garage getting some mods done, so today we're going to go through those mods, how much they cost me, and show you how the Landcruiser looks now. So with Easter just around the corner, I've decided to push the Landcruiser to the top of the list of being modified. So I've gone through and done a few bits and pieces to get it camp ready and to do some light four-wheel driving. So today's episode, I'm just going to walk you through what I've done, how much it cost me, and what's next on the list. Before I get started, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's subscribed. We've just hit 500. I noticed that only 4.7% of my watchers are subscribed. So if you're not subscribed, please jump on it. Let's get that 1,000 subscribers going. Thanks again. Let's get into it. So once I started to pull the suspension apart, I actually noticed that it still had the factory suspension in it. As you can see here, even with the tiny little tires, it was pretty sagged. It was really soft and it didn't drive particularly well. I think it's one of the best mods to do to just improve your day-to-day driving, as well as pick up a bit of extra capability off-road. So the next step then was to actually find the parts. So I had a look around on Facebook Marketplace, and I found a pair of rear shocks that were brand new in the box for a 3-inch lift. The guy said they didn't suit his lift, so they were $300. I bought a set of 4 Dobinson's coils, so a 2.5-inch coil, also brand new in the box on Marketplace. I paid $200 for those. And then I went and bought the front shocks from Superior Engineering direct because I couldn't find them on Marketplace. That was $400. And I bought sway bar extensions from them also, which were $134. So all up, I spent just over $1,000 on getting everything I need for that first stage of suspension. Now, if this is something that you're thinking about tackling on your own, I highly recommend spraying every nut and bolt and thread underneath the car that you're going to be touching with WD-40 or Inox at least a couple of days prior. Because this was all absolutely standard and hadn't been touched from day one, I had a real tough time undoing bits and pieces. I had things snapping off, so definitely something to keep in mind. Whilst I was under there, I got under and rust converted any sign of surface rust, gave everything a really good scuff and a fresh coat of black paint just to keep it all protected. So wheels and tyres is always a very tricky one. I wanted something that looked neat but didn't stand out too much. I had Steelies on the old 80 series and I thought they suited it really well, but this being a little bit more modern, I wanted something a bit newer style to suit it. So I've ended up going with the ROH Assaults. These are a 16 by 9 -12. With the tyres, I went Toyo Open Country RTs. They're a 305 70/16 and they sit perfectly in the guards. I had the RTs on an old 105 and I just think they're a great balance of relatively good on-road manners, but they do really well off-road as well. So I bought the wheels brand new. For a set of 5, it was $1,785. The tyres were secondhand off Marketplace. So it was 5 tyres and 5 wheels. And for the tyres I paid $900 and they have almost brand new tread on them. So I was really happy with that deal. So exhaust is a bit of a tricky one. I've just gone for a cheap turbo back to get it started because the stock exhaust was really restrictive, super quiet, and I like the sound of my straight 6 turbo diesels. So I bought the turbo back from Dandy Exhausts. It's 3-inch turbo back. It was $481. I'm actually of the opinion that it's a bit too noisy. It's got a bit too much drone. So if any of you can recommend a Sydney or Central Coast exhaust shop, I'd be keen to have a chat to them and get a resonator added onto it as well. And on that note, now that the exhaust is done, I'm also keen to get it tuned because I'm pretty sure it's running 5 or 6 pound of boost at the moment, which is a bit ridiculous considering it's intercooled. So again, if someone can recommend a good diesel tuner, I'm happy to travel anywhere between Newcastle and Sydney. So if you know someone, chuck it in the comments. I really appreciate it. So to get it camp ready, one of the things I think is a must-have is a good set of drawers in the back. So I've pulled out the old carpet and underlay. There's a little bit of rust starting along the edge of where the hatch latches, so I've scuffed all that back, rust converted it and sealed it up with some paint I had hanging around in the garage. I've then gone through and used car builder sound deadening over the whole back of the boot area. I've done it inside behind the plastic trims as well, just to keep it nice and quiet. And then I haven't actually put the carpet or underlay back in, just because if it gets wet or if it gets dirty, it's a real pain to keep clean. So my intention is to just cut a little bit of marine carpet in front of the drawers and just have it as an infill piece there to look nice and neat. I've got an old fridge slide that I'm going to chuck in. The car actually already has dual batteries, so the dual batteries have a plug into the boot at the moment. So for this first trip, that should be enough to get us out of trouble and keep things going. Up front, I've done one of my favorite mods for the cost. I've chucked a eBay head unit in it that is wireless Apple CarPlay compatible. That was about $260, so I think that's money well spent just for the ease of use and being able to have your maps up on the front screen. I've also tinted the windows, so you can see here in this video that the tint is in very poor condition. It was bubbling, it was the factory tint from brand new. So I've gone and put darkest legal in, which was about $350 from memory. I did have another car done at the same time to try and keep that cost down. The drawers were $100. I bought them off Gumtree, Black Widow, so they're pretty good quality. They're a little bit dirty, but I'll give them a clean up in a future episode just to get them looking nice. And I think that's it for the interior. So I've got another video coming out very soon. I took the Chaser to a Motorcana day, had an absolute ball. I've booked in to go to the drags, hopefully next week. And I'm trying to get back to Luddenham so I can get back-to-back times on the car being completely stock versus having coilovers and tyres on it. Once that's done, I'll be slapping the manual in it, so we've got heaps of fun stuff to come up on that. After Easter, I'll have some more content on the Landcruiser. We'll be out four-wheel driving and using it, and also camping out of it and talking about what's good, what's not, and what's next on the list for that. I've got a whole bunch of stuff I'm keen to get into on that as well. And I haven't forgotten about the Corolla. I know it's sitting a little bit sad, but I'm just plodding along bit by bit. There's a lot going on at the moment, so just doing my best to keep up. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate all the support from you guys. I've got jumpers and some long sleeves coming out really soon, so keep an eye out on the page, and I'll see you on the next one.